Okay, so you are currently watching this introduction video right here. So the first thing you'll want to do is open up the PhET activity. And while you're doing the PhET activity, you should follow along on the worksheet that your teacher just gave you. So to get the PhET to start, you just hit the play button here. And we're going to start with the introduction. So you can see on the worksheet, the first question says, what are some ways that the simulation indicates an equation's balanced? So as you do this, we want to put a coefficient 1 in front of everything to get started. So you're at least starting with one of each substance in the chemical formula. And you can see the first tool that helps you is it gives you a visualization of each of the substances. So here's like N2. So that's represented, each nitrogen atom is represented by a blue sphere. So N2 would have two of those together. Here's hydrogen, a white. And then whenever we make NH3 in our products over here, we have one nitrogen bonded to three of the hydrogens. So if you feel like you don't need that tool, you can just hit the minus there and that'll disappear. But I do think it's a great visualization for you. Some other tools at the top are this like balance. So it can show you here that right now in your reactant side, you have two nitrogens, and over here you have one nitrogen, so it's not balanced. And you can see the hydrogens aren't balanced either. This is my favorite tool, as opposed to this one, which is the bar chart, which kind of just it keeps a tally for you. So here are the reactants, here are the products, and it's showing you it's not equal. I'm going to show you how you can use the balance to help you balance a little bit more. So when I look at this, I see I have two nitrogens in my reactants, but only one in my products. So I'm going to add another nitrogen in my products by changing my coefficient in my products. So I can see the nitrogens are balanced because 2 and 2, the balance is level. But over here now, my hydrogens, I have more hydrogens in my products. So I'm going to add a coefficient 2 and my reactants, and that got me closer. Then I add one more, and now I get all these great things telling me, yay, it's balanced. So you're going to do this for ammonia. And then the number 2, it says to indicate the total number of molecules in the table below. So it's already filled in for you, but let me show you where these numbers came from. So remember, a molecule is just 2 or more atoms that are covalently bonded together. So here we have nitrogen, and nitrogen's a diatomic element, but whenever we have the diatomic elements, remember we also considered those molecules. So here's one molecule of nitrogen, and then we have 1, 2, 3 molecules of hydrogen. So in our reactant side, we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 molecules. And you can see that's what's filled in already for you on the table. If you didn't have this visualization there, you can just simply add your coefficients together. So 1 plus 3 equals 4. You can see in our products here, we have 1 molecule of NH3, 2 molecules of NH3. But again, if you didn't have that showing you, you could just use your coefficient of 2, and you can see that's what's already filled in for you on the table. So now you're going to go and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to separate water. And to change what equation you're doing, you just simply change this here at the bottom. So here's separate water, and here's combust methane. Ask you a little question. Then for number 4, it says count the total number of atoms. So if I go back to the make ammonia, which luckily it stays balanced for me, now I want to know how many atoms are on each side. So if I, again, have the pictures up, I can just count how many circles do I have. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the number filled in for you on the worksheet. And my products, I have 1 nitrogen and 3 hydrogens in each molecule. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But I have 2 molecules, so that would be 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can see here that we have the same number of atoms in our reactants as we do in our products. If you didn't have the pictures up, in order to count the number of atoms, you can simply take your coefficients and multiply times your subscripts for each of your elements. So here I have 2 times 1, so 2 nitrogens. And here I have 3 times 2 hydrogens. And because 2 plus 6 is 8, That would give me 8 in my reactants. Over here, I have 1 nitrogen times 2 is 2, and then 3 hydrogens times 2 is 6. So again, I get that 2 plus 6 is 8. So those are some different ways that you can use the tools to help you. Then number 6 says to play level 1 of the game. To switch to the game, you just click at the bottom here to the game, and here's level 1. Then you'll play level 2. Again, you'll answer some follow-up questions just to make sure you understand balancing. And when you're done playing around with the PhET simulation, you can balance these equations on the last page. These are not included in the simulation, but it's, using things that you've learned in the simulation to help you. So balance those. After you finish the worksheet, then you can go to Schoology and complete the check-in. And just a reminder, you do only have 1 attempt